Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Blitz Growth. Today we have a very impressive guest. We have Karina here. Karina's built a huge following on TikTok with 400,000 followers and also has very impressive following on all the other social platforms. She's been featured on places like ABC, Bravo, Buzzfeed, and many more. She has a great list and library of amazing digital and physical products in the fitness space. And so today we're going to go over how to create those products and also how to build communities. So Karina, thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting.
Of course. So going to start off with a few questions here. So, your fitness, I suppose, journey has been very impressive. I know you kind of went through the struggles yourself of fitness and health. So at what point did you decide to turn, I suppose, this passion or this necessity to get fit and healthy into a business?
Well, so I have kidney disease. I'm 43 years old, and I watched my mom pass away from kidney disease, and I watched my uncles pass away. So everybody essentially died in my family from kidney disease. And so once I turned 40, I struggled with my weight since I was a teenager. So I just never felt comfortable in my own body. Even when I had lost weight in my 20s, like I just lost weight by like doing some cardio. I really did not do it the healthy way. So my mind was still overweight, right? So for 23 years, my mind was overweight. And when COVID happened and the gyms closed, I finally felt like I got a handle on my body because I decided to get into bodybuilding. And I thought I wanted to compete. I figured since I've always had this painful mind of not feeling good about myself, let me do something so extreme and out of my comfort zone to get what I really want. And while I was going through the transition of bodybuilding, I realized how my mind was shifting and how I wasn't just stuck in cardio all the time. I was actually feeling better and my body shape had changed. And so when COVID happened and the gyms closed, my mind went back to the old Karina. Like I started eating again, things I shouldn't eat. I was homeschooling my kids because the schools were closed. So I was drinking, I was eating chips, I was eating candy. I mean, by 12 o'clock, I was just like, it was just so bad. Because the old you never just leaves your head. You are always who you are, right? As soon as you turn 12 years old, you are who you're going to be, right? After that, we all choose who we want to be. And so 3 weeks in, I recognized I was back to the old Karina and I gained weight and I was again uncomfortable and I was again depressed and I was like, oh my God, I found myself back. And so I didn't know how to get myself out of that. And I realized I think the best thing for me to do is work out live online because people are going to watch me do it. And because they're watching me do it, I have to perform better. And then I have to show up because I said, this is what I'm going to do. So it's like, anytime you put it out there online, you have to do it.
Okay, so
right?
accountability.
I see so many, right, it's your accountability. I've seen so many people say, okay, I'm going to start this diet today. And I'm like, okay. And then a week later, I'm like, where's your post? What happened to you? And I almost want to reach out to those people and be like, aren't you embarrassed? Like, you know how many times I've told my husband I'm going to start a new diet? Right? So when I started this new diet, he was like, okay, here's another one. Sure, this is going to last. It's like, aren't you tired of constantly being that person? I mean, so to me, that became embarrassing, right? And so I didn't want to be that person. And so every single morning, I turned on Facebook and I'm like, okay, I need to get back to the new Karina. And so I'm going to start working out live for myself. And then shortly people are like, hey, I've been watching you work out for a week. What time are you going to work out tomorrow? Can I work out with you? I'm like, okay. And then like every day people are like, can I work out with you? Can I work out with you? And I'm like, okay, put some lipstick on. What do my hair? Because it was just me in pajamas. And then my husband started kind of like nugging me, like making fun of me, like, oh, you're gonna work out now, you have some fans. And like I had nothing. I had 900 Instagram followers. I didn't have TikTok. Zero. I didn't TikTok yet. And hearing him be like, oh, you're gonna go do this now, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go do this now. And then it just progressed, right? And then one day someone's like, hey, can you help me with the diet portion? And I've been working out with you now for 2 months. Can you help me with the diet? And I was like, yeah, I could do that. And so I had created an ebook. I call it Eat Your Way to Fit. I developed it when I was going through my own transformation. And what I learned is I can live a certain lifestyle Monday through Friday, like a job, right? Have you ever had a 9 to 5?
I have actually. Not for very long, but I did.
Right. Okay, so I'm from New York. So I ran for my life in 9/11. So I had a 9 to 5 Wall Street job. It was, grinding every day, waking up 6 o'clock, getting on a Staten Island ferry, going into the city, right? So I had 9 to 5. So it was a very structural position, right? So that's what I realized I developed with my own fitness is Monday through Friday. I follow a very clean, strict diet. And then I enjoy my weekends just like anyone else enjoys their weekends, like vacation. Right. So I lived in New York most of my life, and then I moved to LA in 2004.
Okay.
Do you live
Join
in
all
LA?
the other fitness people. Yeah. I live in Venice Beach.
All right. So you're on vacation every day. Right?
I wouldn't
There's
say
palm
so,
trees,
but
it's
others
laid out. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just go outside, it's like you're on
It is
vacation
nice.
every day. Of
It
course
is
you
very
work,
nice. Yeah.
but it's always nice. The weather's always nice. There's always palm trees, right? Well, I was in New York. There was no palm trees. It was freezing. It was raining. So now I moved to California, and I'm like, wow, every day is like a vacation, right? So that's what
Location
I
does
do with
matter.
my fitness. Right, Monday through Friday, I'm at work on my body.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday and Sunday, I'm on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not so strict. I will allow myself to have a piece of toast. I won't
Got it.
eat.
So you've got some cheat days.
Yes. So I do call it a cheat day, but it's more of like a relaxed day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think everything in life,
So that's
whether
how
it's
it's
business or fitness, you need to have a relief day or two.
right. Absolutely. I agree. So that's kind of how it started for me. So from my one ebook that I called Eat Your Way to Fit, because you can literally eat your way. I sometimes have trouble marketing those words because people don't understand that they can actually eat how they want, because my followers are moms and they think they have to starve. And I'm like, no, I want you to eat how you want to eat. Right. And from there, I started doing mini challenges and calling them mini August challenge. It was mini September. Now I have one called Lose a Dress Size. Then I also branched out and developed digital recipe books. So I have those digital products, and then my husband's an inventor. My husband's an inventor of a product called Hangomatic, And so we manufacture this product. It's a 6-foot tape measure that levels and marks the wall at the same time. And because of our experience from distributing Hang-O-Matic into Home Depot, Hobby Lobby, Container Store, I then developed my physical products. So my physical products are 3 different waist trainers. I have kidney disease, and so I'm not allowed to waist train. And so I had to develop similar products that kind of waist train, but they're not tight like a mainstream waist trainer that you see online.
Got it. And then
They're like a modified version.
Got it. Okay. And then about the breakup of physical and digital products, which one was easier, and then which one do you prefer to do? Like, if someone was starting out, where would you suggest they start in? Maybe they've got a following.
By far,
digital. Mm-hmm.
Digital, because you don't need to have 400,000 followers to sell something, right? You don't need to have physical products right away. You have to make some money to have money to invest into the physical product, because the physical product costs a lot of money, and you have to bring in minimum, especially now, 500 units in order for the factory to want to do business with you.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay, so digital, then physical.
Yeah, because once you create a digital product, you can make money today, right? Mm-hmm. So like right now I have a 30-day challenge that's called Lose a Dress Size. Well, in a week from now, I'm going to create a new challenge, and I'm going to call it Lose a Pants Size. Mm-hmm. They're the same.
Yeah.
There's no challenge. There's not even a challenge, right? Okay. But social media is so over I don't know what the word is. As soon as people hear challenge, they just flock. But there's no challenge. I'm not making them jump on 1 foot on Monday and jump on 2 feet on Tuesday. Right?
Yeah.
But as soon as they hear a challenge, it's a very good marketing word.
Yeah. Well, humans just mentally are always up for a challenge. They always want to be competitive. They always want to try and beat something, whether it's another person, whether it's a challenge, whether it's a goal. I think naturally humans are very competitive. But coming back to, the digital and the physical products, how did you make your first $1,000 from doing this? Because I know always the first dollar is probably the hardest one. So at what point did you take these online training sessions with a bunch of people following along into an actual revenue generating business?
Yeah, so I started working out live in March, and I started charging in June. So 3 months later, in June, I came out with my ebook, and I said, I'm going to teach you how to eat. I'm going to work out with you. I'm going to teach you how to eat. And I'm going to put you into a group so then I can focus on you specifically in my group. And I had 50 people sign up. I charged $27. So
nice. I know it's more than enough for your first session.
It's not quite. I can't do math today. $27. I had 50 people. There you go. $1,350. Boom. So
there you go.
1,350.
Got it. And so where did you find those customers? Because I know this is the hardest part. Okay. So Facebook groups and everything?
They were all my Facebook acquaintances, friends. They were all my Facebook friends.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I did start doing TikTok then, just didn't know how to do TikTok. I was just throwing things up on TikTok, and like the music would cut off because I didn't know that the music is timed. So my first big deal was I was just like, I don't know what to do here. How do you like me now, people? I was like, hello, I'm a robot. It was just, I would even say things like, can someone help me? How come the music cut off? I don't know what's going on, you know? And so, like,
People
no
like that though, I
views,
think.
like, nothing.
It's genuine. Mm.
And then one day, my husband's like, you need to be sexy. I'm like, sexy? Like, what do you mean I gotta be sexy? And so I did a funny video, what you look like when you come home before COVID and what you look like when you're gonna leave the house after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I did the video with my backside. And then that
Okay. So
day
it did
it
well.
went to 60,000. It went to 60. So it was my glutes, right? I showed my glutes and it went up to 60,000 views. I was freaking out. My husband, I kept calling my husband every 10 minutes and I'm like, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, 40,000. And he's like, what? Right?
All right. So that's the secret. Show some
And then,
glutes.
yeah, that's a secret. And then, like I said, and then I posted on my Facebook that, hey, I'm going to teach you how to eat. Everybody got excited. I've already had my transformation myself. And yeah, that's kind of how it started. And here I am. It'll be 2 years this March.
Nice. So that's
Yeah.
it's interesting because the fitness space is very crowded. So it's hard to stand
Mm-hmm.
out. There's so many people doing it. What do you think makes your stuff stand out? Why do people like your content? Why do people purchase your products? I can give a few guesses, but I would love you to explain like how you
Oh, I'd love to
differentiate
hear
from
your
all those
guesses.
other people.
Well, I would love
So
to hear your guesses. Um,
first off, I
you
think
go, you go.
I can do a few guesses. So first off, I think focusing on eating is good because everybody's focusing on the workout, everybody's focusing on the eating less, whereas you're just talking about eating the right things. And I think
Yeah,
people want to hear that they can eat while they're on a diet. So I think that's one big one. And then I also think the differentiation is that you do have a big range of products that all complement each other. Like a lot of fitness people maybe just have a course or they maybe just have a meal plan. Whereas you've actually created a number of products, digital and physical, that all complement each other, which help that person achieve that
right.
goal. So your product line extension is also very impressive.
Right. So I would agree that's not what I would say. I do agree with you. That's what definitely makes me different is that, right, I am the full gym, right? You walk into the gym, you use the machines, I'm the trainer, I give you the training. And then when you go to the gym, nobody gives you a nutrition plan. And so I'm also your nutritionist, right? And then on top of that, I'm your accountability because every single Friday I'm like, hello, you need to weigh in. You need to check in. You need to weigh in, check in. Hello, can you hear me? I keep them accountable. And then I go live every single day. So every single day I'm like, people, this is your friendly reminder. Do not eat anything that's not on the list. Do you hear me? Reminder, right? And then I coach them at the same time. So I'm very relatable to my audience because I'm also a mom and most of my followers are moms. And the fitness space is very crowded with under 30 young girls who are not married, who don't have children, who don't have the same struggles. Right. And then a lot of them they were born skinny and then they built a beautiful body. And I was overweight as early as 14 years old. So I wasn't that skinny girl who, I went the other way around. So some people either go from 90 pounds to 120 pounds, but I was 150 pounds who went down to 120 pounds, then got pregnant, went to 180 pounds. Then I went back down to 120 pounds and then I got pregnant again. And it's like, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I
And then
think
at the
it's
same
relatable
time, I
too.
have a family. Right. So it's relatable. I think what really makes me stand out is I'm really loud and I'm in everyone's face and I say the things that nobody wants to hear. So I do notice that when I tell the truth and I say things like, you downloaded my free plan. You're in my free group. Why the hell aren't you doing what you signed up for? Hello? Right? And then when I do that, people are like, are you attacking me? Yes. Yes, I am attacking you. I am attacking you. Why are you here? Right? And when I was doing my own fitness before I became a coach and a personal trainer, and I did still share my fitness stuff for myself, I was always like, hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to do arms today. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was trying to fit in with the society of not being a loud person. And I'm Russian. And when, right. Well, I finally feel like I can just be me and not have to hide and be in their face because it works. Right? I have girls who've lost 60 pounds, 40 pounds. I have a girl right now who's um, just lost 30 pounds in a month. 30 pounds in a
Wow.
month.
Okay.
Right? And
So
for me to
I was going to say, and do
go
you
ahead.
use those? So those transformations are super important in the fitness space. So how do you use those in your
Yes.
marketing? So it's like, how do you, entice people to join, and how do you use those success stories really in your marketing?
My biggest struggle is a lot of these girls are not yet confident to share themselves. So the girl who just lost 30 pounds will text me and message me of her progress. She won't show her face or a picture. And so I have to only go by her words. And so I'll snap a picture of her words. And I started doing these pictures where, I'll put my hands in front of me and then I put the graphic in between my hands so people focus on to read the message, right? I did coach. I coached one girl for free, and that was in exchange. She was gonna be my marketing, and she did awesome. She went from 226 pounds down to 183, and so she did share her timeline. And then there's a few people who've lost weight, and then it's been a year, and now they're sharing their pictures. So that's my struggle. That I see these 20-year-olds who have these fitness programs, and they do have customers who share their programs. And then I'm like, well, how come no one's sharing me? That's so I kind of get like upset about that. And so mainly, I just do my best. I have everybody check in every Friday, right? So everybody does a post on Facebook with their checking in, and I snap the success stories, and I share those.
Okay.
But
And
as
then
far as like,
I was
yeah,
going to say, and then, it's really interesting. So your plan is like $20 a month. And so, it is a commitment for some people. And then I was going through the list of things that you offer. How did you come up with all of the ideas of what to include, and what do you include in that kind of subscription? Because I do think
mm-hmm.
it's some of the stuff in there is actually really creative and interesting, and how you've added value to that $20 a month subscription.
Yeah. I offer a meal plan, the exact same meal plan I follow. And then in addition to the meal plan, I created a food list. So if somebody hates chicken, they can look at the food list and change to fish or ground turkey or whatever. So the food list has all the healthy proteins, the carbs, the fruit. I even made them see and highlighted in red which fruit is higher in sugar and carb, so they can pick and choose. Do you really want that banana? Right? And then, so for $19.99 a month, I have an ebook that they get, these meal plans, food list, and all my communication of why you should do it this way and why you should eat this way and how you should work out. And then there's a page on click here for my workout. And then the annual is $79.99, which is the same as the $19.99 a month. So if someone doesn't want to spend 80, someone who wants to pay monthly, someone who wants to just do a commitment for a year. And then I have a new membership that's $399. So it's $399 a year. And I include one phone call a month. So we get on a call. And that membership breaks down to monthly $40 a month. So people can choose how much of my time do you want, right? So I used to charge $160 for an annual membership, but I realized some people thought it was too expensive. So I lowered it down to $79. I have somebody here. So I lowered it down to $79 just so I get more people. Make sense? And then I created a higher price, want more of my attention.
Yeah, because I was saying a few of the things that were interesting that I think you had in your subscription was you have the one-on-one calls, you have the group workouts, you repurpose all your content. So you have recordings of everything, you have the personalized meal plans, the best foods list. So all of this stuff, like it's content you've created, but listing it out like this actually makes it seem like a lot of stuff for $20 a month. I think the accountability and the Facebook group and all that sort of stuff also really adds to the value that you're providing for $20 a month. So when coming up with all of this, did your first monthly subscription start with all this stuff, or did you kind of build onto it as you saw people wanting more things?
Yeah, my first product was $27, and it was a spreadsheet with 15 tabs, a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet. So when you open the spreadsheet, you're like, what? Tab, tab, tab. You know what I mean? Like when I redid it, I'm like, wow, did someone actually sit and do tab, 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 tab? But when I first created it, I thought like, oh, it's so easy to see. Tab, 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 tab. But it really wasn't. But right, you got to start somewhere. When I first started charging the $27, and my husband was like, "Oh, you're gonna go live now?" And I'm like, "Babe, I just charged $27 and 50 people joined." And he's like, "Okay, you have a business." He's like, "Okay,
Nice,
I'll help you." Because now, he was always screaming at me, "Why are you on your phone? You're always on your phone. You're always on your phone." And I'm like,
yeah,
$13.50.
yeah, it's worth it. Getting paid to be on my phone.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and then I, as you go, you just learn as you go, and you just notice that, okay, this tab, tab, tab is not working. And someone might say, I don't understand this tab. And I'm like, okay, let me go look at it. Oh yeah, I don't understand that tab either. And so that's how I redid it. And then as people reach out and would say things like, oh, I can't afford this, or I can't afford that, then I started recreating the same book, the same program into smaller things. Like people, well, a lot of times someone would say, how do I start? And I'm like, well, I really want to tell you Google. I want to say Google would be a great way to start, but then I don't make any money if I send them to Google. Hey, I have a how to get started book. It doesn't have a meal plan because it's going to be too overwhelming, but it has the food list, and you should just follow the food list, and here's a 3-minute workout. That's how you get started. $9.99.
Nice. Well, it's baby steps too.
Yeah.
People can't go all in from day one. They need to take those first smaller steps and then build their way up to it, which I think is good. So you have a lot of stuff going on. Are there any tools or platforms or programs you use to help manage all of this? Like, what does your tech stack look like, I suppose?
No, it's me. Nothing. I need help.
Nice. Manual.
I really need help. I just hired a cleaning lady because I just can't keep up like cleaning the house and organizing my business, because I ship my inventory from my house. So I have 3 different waist trainers in 5 different sizes and 2 colors. My garage is full. I did come out with a workout clothing line, and I have 4 sizes. And unfortunately, I listened to my followers, and they all voted on black, but you can't see the design, and so it's not moving. And I'm literally like begging. I just want to get rid of this inventory. So that is my one failed decision, business decision. So I've learned my next clothing line will be a color, not black.
Got it. Okay. And so how do you balance listening to your followers, customers, and fans, and then deciding on what you actually do? Because this is an example where maybe listening seemed like a good idea, but then in reality, once you actually executed, there are a few flaws there. So how much of your fan base do you listen to and follow for suggestions and advice? And then how much of it do you kind of be like, okay, that's great, but it's not aligned with where I want to go with this or what I want to do?
Right. So when it comes to physical products, because it's my money out of my pocket, because I had to spend $5,000 to purchase this clothing, right? And now it's sitting in my garage collecting dust. So I listen, but if it's digital, I listen and I create more digital because that's easy to do. But in terms of physical product, how will I look on camera showing this product? And that's what I should have done with this particular outfit. Because when I put on this outfit and I go in front of the camera, I just look like a black dot. So you can't see how beautiful the actual design is of this outfit. It's leopard and it's black leopard. So it's black on black. So you can't see it. And because I'm always on video, I always want to wear color. And then every time I wear color, people are like, well, where did you get that? Yeah.
Alrighty, awesome. So next question would be, what's been some of your best performing content? Do you notice anything that works particularly well? And what would you suggest to people in the fitness space on what type of content they should be creating? Because there's thousands of influencers and brands and all that sort of stuff. But I know you're really good at standing out. But what's worked really well for you, and what would you suggest to other people?
Yeah. So my biggest things that work is always showing my progress, my before picture and my after picture, right? Because my transformation is because I had a baby. The transformation is really wild, significant, big, a huge difference. You could see how my stomach just went from, big belly to no belly. And then I always plug, I have kidney disease. So if you looked at my mom at my age now, she was already an Oompa Loompa because she was like 4'9". She was really short and she was like 250 pounds. Right. And so technically, I'm supposed to look like my mom because when I was in high school, boys would say, hey, if you want to know what your girl is going to look like, just look at her mom. And like, I remember that. And I was overweight in high school. Right. And I'm still talking about it. And I don't look like my mom. Right. And so sometimes my husband would be like, well, your mom was hot. You're going to look like your mom. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to look like my mom. And I wasn't close with my mom. So I also have this like, I don't want anything to do with my mom. Right. And she never worked out. She was never into eating healthy. Like we didn't grow up like that. And so I'm making a point to prove myself to everyone in my family who obviously know me my whole life. And now I'm doing the opposite, right? So my content works to show my before and after. And also I started realizing that creating content to piss somebody off. For example, I did a video, and this was by accident, so I just learned this. I was living in a hotel for 6 months, and so I did a video showing how difficult it was for me to maintain a healthy lifestyle that I had prior to moving to a hotel. And so I was downstairs in the lobby getting food for my kids. And it was bagels, cereal. It was just a bunch of processed garbage. And it was very difficult for me to carry all this food up to the room to feed my kids. So the hotel gave me a trash bag. Oh my God, now my battery's gonna die. So the hotel gave me a trash bag. And so I'm putting all this food into a trash bag. And it just got to 2 million views on Instagram. I've never gone viral on Instagram. I've gone viral on TikTok a lot. Like with TikTok, I'd be like, I could snap my fingers and go viral on TikTok, right? But on Instagram, it was really, really difficult. And so this video just went to 2 million views. After this video, then I realized, okay, wait a minute. These people are mad because no one read my caption. All they saw is me putting food into a trash bag and thought I'm stealing from the hotel. So some people thought I'm stealing from the hotel. Some people thought I'm homeless and I just have to do what I have to do to feed my kids. I mean, the stories and the comments these people made up in their heads are mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Nice. So controversy is key. Like,
yes, absolutely.
Just creating something that's gonna annoy people or get a reaction from people.
Right. So what I learned is create something, and when you create something, it's always with the I in mind. I, not you. I'm not telling you to go to the hotel and take food. I'm showing my life. It's always I. Never you should do this. It's always I do this. Because if anyone ever complains on your content, I'm sharing what I am doing. I can share whatever I want. I am sharing my life. If you interpret that I'm stealing from the hotel, that's how you perceive my life, right? But I, like that. So then there's another video I said, I drink alcohol because people in the fitness are always like, can you drink wine? And yeah, I'm not one of those people who says no to anything. Like, no, you can't drink wine every single night until you're wasted. But can you drink wine? Yeah, sure. So I showed a video of me drinking wine. And then right after me drinking wine, I go right into waist training. And so I'm like drinking wine and take a look at my abs. Right. And the people obviously got mad. Right. So the people who get mad will start with the engagement and the views. And then the people who follow and want to work with you will follow and want to work with you. But you have to push someone's button to get the views going. Right? So sometimes I will show my backside because someone has to be like, what? To get the right.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. What we've found as well is you've got to have that shock factor, and that is more of a indicator on how many likes you're going to get versus actually teaching something or educating someone on something that's important to know. So you kind of got to entertain them, and then you've got to teach them. Is what I think a lot of the content creators we talk to kind of suggest.
Right. Okay. Because the people who follow you, they will never see, some people will never see what you're actually trying to teach them. Because when people see, they start judging their own life. Like I've pissed a few people off because I talked about liposuction. And I was saying how you don't need to have surgery to get a fit body. And I had a couple of haters who then blocked me, which told me they had plastic surgery and they don't look like me. And so I bothered them. Right. And you need to have the haters. The haters is what makes your business grow. So I used to get my feelings hurt, but now I'm like, let's do this. What's up, hater? And then I write them back, because when you write a hater back, they write back, you write back, they write back, they write back. I had a hater conversation with someone for 2 minutes just to get to 1 million views on TikTok. And I was like, all right, girl, I'm done. Good night. I'm like, oh, I hit my number. I saw 1 million views. I'm good.
At least you're not
I'm like, I'm doing
personal.
laundry.
Yeah. At least you're not
can't
taking
take it personal because they're not hating on me. They're hating on themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's important to know as a content creator. You know, not everybody is going to love what you do, and there are going to be haters, and you just got to learn to leverage them to your advantage, really. Not take it personally and let them disadvantage you.
Right. But I do believe you have to write everybody back, because like people, I have a lot of haters who tell me I have Karen hair. And so I'll reply and be like, no, my name's Karina. I'm not sure where you got Karen from. And then they're like,
at least you're being funny about it.
What'd she say? You know, and then they'll say something else. And I'm like, no, you misspelled my name. It's like when you're driving and you cut somebody off by accident and they start cursing at you and you're just like, hi. And they're like, what? You know, these people always expect to fight.
Yeah.
I kill them with more kindness.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the best way to do it. It infuriates them more. But gotta love those haters. And just to wrap up here, Karina, where can we find you? Where can we follow you? Where can we get more involved with what you're doing? This is your chance to sort of let everybody know how they can get more Karina.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Karina Rabin Fitness, and my TikTok is Karina Rabin Fit. I should probably make them the same. And my YouTube is my name. I just leave it. So technically, anytime you type in Karina Rabin, I come up. Yeah. And as a little side note, I also have a product. This is old for more product stuff. If anybody has physical products and want to learn more, my husband and I have a YouTube channel called The One Pitch, and it's all about how to get a product into market.
Nice. No, that's super interesting. I'm sure. No, I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in that.
Yeah,
because it's hard.
It's small. It's really it's really hard to do. Yeah.
Okay.
We sold our house for the first product. That's how difficult it is.
That's commitment. That's when you know it's going to work.
Right. Yeah. So that's why you don't want to do physical products unless you have a rich uncle.
That's the secret. Awesome. Well, Karina, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a lot of fun. You've got such a good personality. You're a lot of fun to talk with. And I'm sure all the social following and posts to come, many more millions of views and lots more hater conversations to tag onto. But yeah, really appreciate having you on the podcast. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, we put a bunch of effort into making great content for this YouTube channel. So please hit subscribe, leave us a comment, hit like, and tell a few friends about it.